Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be rebuilding the Dallas Cowboys. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another upload, and let's get started. Okay, so the Cowboys have Dak Prescott as quarterback. The two-headed monster at running back is Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. They have CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup. They picked up T.Y. Hilton. They've got Brown. They've got Dalton Schultz, Steele, Zach Martin. I don't know how to say that. Jason Peters, Tyron Smith. So on the offense, we're probably going to upgrade maybe the offensive line and maybe pick up a better receiver, but this offense is a pretty good offense. And on the defensive side of the ball, they've got Micah Parsons, Leighton Vander Esch, Anthony Barr. They've got Curse, Malik Hooker, Brayvon Diggs, Fowler, Odigizua, Hankins, Lawrence Brown. On the defensive side of the ball, which is definitely seems like the less talented side of the ball, we've got probably better defensive line and maybe a better corner. And then special teams, you've got Brian Anger and Maher. So just probably a few more changes, and then these Cowboys will be Super Bowl contenders. Okay, so I just sent a first-round pick to the Browns for Byron Jones, who will definitely be a very good second corner to pair alongside Trayvon Diggs. Okay, so I just got a massive upgrade at left guard for Joel Bitonio, which I sent a third and fourth round pick for this year and a first-round pick for next year, which will definitely increase our offensive line, which will allow Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard to run for more yards. Okay, so I just got Grover Stewart, who will be a good upgrade at defensive tackle for a second and fifth round pick for this year. Okay, so we just hit the midpoint of the season. We are 3-4 with our defense being 31st in the NFL and our offense being 9th. So it's definitely our defense that's trailing behind. Let's see why. So Dak Prescott has almost 2,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions, which rushing. Ezekiel Elliott has 472 yards with Tony Pollard having 69 yards. I'm probably going to trade Tony Pollard. Receiving wise, T.Y. Hilton has 545 with Gallup having 500 and CeeDee Lamb almost having 400. And then on the defensive side of the ball, we've got Leighton Vander Esch with the most tackles with Trayvon Diggs and Anthony Barr right behind. Tackles for loss, we got Micah Parsons with 6, Lawrence with 6, and Odigizua with 6. Sacks, we have Parsons with 4, Odigizua with 4, and DeMarcus Lawrence with 3. Interceptions wise, we have 2 with Diggs, 1 with Wilson, 1 with Byron Jones, and 1 with Malik Hooker. And then did we force any fumbles? It looks like we forced 4, 1 with Wilson, 1 with Jones, 1 with Jabril Cox, and 1 with Mukuamu. That seems like it's it. So I'll probably trade Tony Pollard for like a good defensive player and see how we do. Okay, so I just sent Ezekiel Elliott and a 6th round pick for this year to the Buccaneers for Shaquille Barrett and a 3rd round pick for this year. So the defense was struggling, so I picked up Shaquille Barrett, and then our running back game has 2 really good running backs, so I traded away Ezekiel Elliott. So hopefully our defense will be playing better and we can get more wins. Okay, we went 10-7, which means that we make the playoffs and we play the wild card game against the Arizona Cardinals. So that also means that we went 7-3 in the last 10 games, which is insane comparing we went 3-4 to open up the first 7 games of the season. So now let's take a look at how our offense and defense did. Okay, so Dak Prescott threw for 4,900 yards with 39 touchdowns and 21 interceptions. On the rushing side of the ball, Tony Pollard ran for 691 yards with 12 touchdowns and 1 fumble. Receiving wise, T.Y. Hilton caught 1,300 yards with Michael Gallup catching 1,300 and CeeDee Lamb with 1,000. Defensive wise, we got Leighton Vander Esch with 128 tackles and Shaq Barrett with 105. TFLs were led by Osa Odigizua with 20, and then we got DeMarcus Lawrence with 18, Micah Parsons with 17, Grover Stewart with 11. Interceptions wise, we had 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. And then I forgot to mention sacks. We had Micah Parsons with 14, DeMarcus Lawrence with 10, Osa Odigizua with 7.5, Shaquille Barrett with 6, and then Grover Stewart with 6. Did we have any forced fumbles or any extra forced fumbles, I should say? Yeah, Micah Parsons got 2, Trayvon Diggs got 1, Byron Jones got 1, Donovan Wilson got 1, Jabril Cox got 1, and Mukuamu got 1. So let's hope we win this next game against the Arizona Cardinals. Okay, so we beat the Cardinals 35-17, which means we played the 12-5 San Francisco 49ers in the divisional round. Let's see how we do. Okay, so in the game against the Cardinals, Dak Prescott threw for 275 yards with 4 touchdowns and 1 interception. Rushing wise, Tony Pollard had 67 yards with 0 touchdowns. Receiving wise, Hilton had led the game in 134 with CeeDee Lamb getting 40 and Michael Gallup getting 36. And then defensive wise, Leighton Vander Esch got 7 tackles with Micah Parsons also getting 7 tackles. But Micah Parsons got 1 tackle for loss, so did Grover Stewart. There were 2 sacks by Micah Parsons, a half a sack by Donovan Wilson and Leighton Vander Esch. There was 1 interception by Wilson, 1 interception by Diggs, and 1 interception by Jones. And then did we force any fumbles? It looks like we forced 1 with Byron Jones and 1 with Micah Parsons. So let's see how this game goes against the Niners. Okay, so I forgot to do awards, so here they are. Tua Tagovailoa won the league MVP, with Mike Vrabel winning the Coach of the Year, and then the NFC Offensive Player of the Year was Alvin Kamara, with the DPOY being Aaron Donald. The Offensive Rookie of the Year was Drake London. Defensive Rookie was Aiden Hutchinson. Best Quarterback was Marcus Mariota. Best Running Back was Alvin Kamara. Best Wide Receiver was Cooper Kupp. Best O-Line was Zach Martin. Best D-Line was Nick Bosa. Best Linebacker was Micah Parsons. Best DB was Tony Jefferson. Best Kicker was Matt Prater. So it looks like we had like 1 or 2 awards, so that's very good. Now let's go back to the game against the Niners. Okay, so we won against the 49ers. So Dak Prescott threw for 387 yards with 3 touchdowns. Rushing wise, Tony Pollard rushed for almost 100 yards with 1 touchdown. Receiving wise, Michael Gallup caught for 160 yards about. CeeDee Lamb caught for 86. Hilton caught for 59. And then the defensive side of the ball, Leighton Vander Esch led the game in tackles with 12. Shaquille Barrett with 8. And then TFLs, Osa Odigozua had 3. Then with sacks, we had 1 with DeMarcus Lawrence and 1 with Shaquille Barrett. Interceptions wise, we had 0. And then did we force a fumble? Let's see. And it looks like we did not. So let's go to the game which I forgot who we played, but let's see if we win it. Okay, so we beat the game against the Packers, where Dak Prescott threw for 342 yards with 4 touchdowns and 1 interception. Rushing wise, Tony Pollard had 70 yards with 0 touchdowns, but Malik Davis ran for a touchdown. Receiving wise, T.Y. Hilton caught for 126 with 3 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb almost caught for 100. And then Michael Gallup caught for 76. Defensive wise, Byron Jones led the game in tackles with 6. And then we had Dante Fowler with 2 TFLs. And then Jones, Lawrence, Parsons, Odigozua, and Grover Stewart with 1. And then for sacks, we had Micah Parsons get 2. And then interceptions, we had Leighton Vander Esch with 1 and Donovan Wilson with 1. Now let's see, did we force any fumbles? And it looks like we didn't. So I'm pretty sure we play the Broncos in the Super Bowl. Let's see if we can win our first Super Bowl at Madden 23. Okay, so we beat the Broncos 35-32 in the Super Bowl, which means that is our first Super Bowl of Madden 23. Dak Prescott at 359 yards with 4 touchdowns against Russell Wilson's 323 with 3 touchdowns, but Russell Wilson threw for an interception. Dak Prescott did not. Rushing side of the ball, Javonte Williams was 68 yards and 0 touchdowns, which is good, but Tony Pollard rushed for 31 yards with 1 touchdown. Receiving wise, Cortland Sutton led the game with 126 and 1 touchdown, but T.Y. Hilton had almost 100 with 2 touchdowns. Defensive wise, Leighton Vander Esch had led the game with 13 tackles, and then we had DJ Jones with 3 TFLs, and then Leighton Vander Esch with 1. Did anyone force any sacks? Malik Hooker got a sack, D Ford got a sack, and Grover Stewart got a sack. Trayvon Diggs was the only interception. Now, did we force any fumbles? And it looks like we did not. So thank you guys so much for watching the first Super Bowl in my rebuilding of Madden 23. Thank you guys, and if you liked any of my videos, make sure to like and subscribe and watch the next one.